What is up YouTube, and welcome to this Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. video. So if you are new to the channel, please do consider leaving a like and a subscribe down below if you did enjoy the video. And do hit that bell button to get notifications, because it's just come out in the last 24 hours that YouTube are actually throttling these videos. So you may find yourself not seeing any more content from myself if you are subscribed, which is absolutely terrible. And I also apologise for wearing an Arrow t-shirt on an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. video, but here we are. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had a very surprising episode of this week, which was really enjoyable. Overall, it was fun, it had twists and turns, it had some fantastic acting from Fitz, and I really did love the whole twists and turns, like I said, and the return of the Superior. So we open up with Deke worried about his predecessors, his great-grandparents, grandparents. It's about 90 years they went in the future in the first half of this season, so I'm not too sure exactly how much, kind of, if they'd be grandparents. It might just be grandparent. I'm pretty sure it would be, but the timeline's just a bit too off there, in my opinion. However, he was, like I said, worried for his whole Back to the Future-ish, because it just reminds me of Back to the Future, where actually Marty McFly's parents started to disappear because they never actually met, and he starts to disappear, his family disappears, and things like that. So that's the best way I can really describe time travel here. However, we do actually think that the agents are going to get an upper hand, but they completely fail, and they've fallen into a trap made by General Hale. I did think it was a bit weird that they would trap Hale this early, and it did remind me of Benjamin Linus from Lost, where he does deliberately get himself captured. So there is that nice little Lost kind of callback in a way, not really. Same network, I guess. So Piper is back, which I thought she might have died when she was trying to fend off all of those LMD-style agents, and she is on a road to redemption. However, she's not really should be redeemed, because she never really did anything wrong. She did what she thought was best for the agency, for S.H.I.E.L.D., for humanity. It wasn't particularly bad, it was just the only option she ever actually had, and I can't really blame her for trying to work with Hale. However, she does come up with the idea to track Hale. They managed to actually track her. So they capture her. It's a really cool moment where you see the Quinjet land, and the Jeep kind of lands on top in the actual Quinjet, which I thought was really cool. I really did like that. Really cool moment and things like that, where we saw Hale captured, but it all goes completely and utterly wrong. And the person driving the Jeep was actually Crusher Kree, which I thought was really cool that he's back, of course, and he did have the C4 on him. I was hoping for a really cool moment where he blows himself up, but he's actually turned into that steel, and he survives and lands. I did hope for a payoff of that. That would have been really cool, but I guess the whole thing with the Quinjet blows up, the whole group would survive, and we had the whole risk in the air last week with the Principal, I guess, so it would just be a bit too close to what we've had so far in the previous episode. But I do hope we see more of Piper, and I hope she does get her revenge on General Hale. I think she should be the one, maybe, to kill General Hale, but I expect Yo-Yo will actually be the one who dispatches General Hale, and I'm kind of expect some sort of time travel where she actually properly gets her arms back. Now, last week, or in the trailer, I did expect Hale to locate everyone with the LMD that they captured, that Mac brought back to base, and give the arms to Yo-Yo, which had some really cool scenes in it. However, that's not actually what we got, so I thought that'd be an interesting idea. However, I like the execution of the way they did it here a lot better. Now, of course, we do need a B plot to every episode, and we knew that the Doctor was returning, and the Doctor is back. No, this is some sort of retro callback to when Fitz was actually seeing Simmons in his brain, and who was actually seeing the Doctor from the framework. So this wasn't actually anything to do with the fear dimension. We had the astronaut, which I think might be connected to Simmons with everything that happened with Hive and on the planet and things like that. But here, the Doctor is just a manifestation of Fitz. And this does make sense, because if they're going to break out the time loop, because we've got a loop, they're always going to do the same thing, and they repeat and they repeat and they repeat, well, they're going to need to do things just a bit differently. So if they do things different to what they've done already, that is how they're going to break out of it. But of course, Fitz, he wouldn't be able to kind of operate on Daisy and things like that. He wouldn't be able to steal her powers or control her. But what he's done here is he has actually done that with the help of the Doctor. And this kind of part of his brain has triggered him to actually become that person and not realise it. And it does fit and call back very well to what last season, where Fitz, that was really him in a way. And that maybe that is what he is destined to become. He needs to become the enemy to actually save the world, which I think is a really good storytelling mechanic, and is a really good kind of way of calling back and actually changing the character, because we just got them married, but we'll see the fallout of that next episode, I think, as well. Now the question is, will Fitz and Simmons stay married? Will they still stay together? And they actually have to, because they have to have a kid for Deke to survive. Maybe we will see Deke actually break him out and send those two on their merry way. However, we did see the future where Fitz and Simmons are trying to fix things, and, well, they're trying to fix everything that happens. So really, this doesn't... We can tell that he will be sort of forgiven, but Daisy, I think this will lead to her actually becoming rogue and get angry and use her powers, or maybe they'll do it again, and this will lead to her actually using her powers not willingly but under distress to actually destroy the planet. Now we've got Yo-Yo as well, some really good scenes with Yo-Yo and Mac. I really did like those heartfelt moments, especially when she was trying to work on the arm and she sticks the finger up with it, which I thought was really funny. And it does make sense that what I've been saying about how things have to happen because we've seen it happen, although it may not, but Yo-Yo has got this mindset, and she is reckless, and, well, she thinks that she can't die. Now, we also saw the return of the Superior, and a lot of people did think that he was actually going to be in charge of General Hale, which I couldn't really see. I wasn't a big fan of that arc at all in the show, but I like the fact that, well, Coulson mentioned that she's got his balls in a vice. I think that's what he said, like paraphrasing it. But she just says that it's actually his brain in a jar. And the fact that she found it, I think, makes sense. And I did kind of put that theory last week, which came true. Yay. So we've got the Superior kicking butt once more. However, I'm not really a big fan of him. If you are, I'm glad that your character that you like's back. Now, we've got General Hale. General Hale, as revealed at the end of the episode, she is in a way over her head here with the Confederacy. Now, if you don't know what the Confederacy is, you would be forgiven, because I don't think it was mentioned too heavily in the first half of this season. The Confederacy is what looks to be like the Kree Confederacy, a group of houses and families who have come together. Now, what happened is Cassius was actually, he brought shame upon his father and his family. This led to his father actually disowning him, and because he didn't actually take that serum, which makes them, or gives them bloodlust. So that would then kind of, this caused problems within his status in the Confederacy, which fits very, very well here. So the Confederacy, what do they want? Well, no doubt they want to actually take over Earth. This is what they actually want to do. But we know already that they fail. So we know that they fail. The Confederacy, Cassius, he mentioned that his father wanted Earth. We know they fail, it explodes, and Cassius comes back and takes over this planet. So we know that they won't survive, or they won't prevail really here. So what is actually going on? Now, General Hale is somehow involved with them. They mention Hydra. Now, if you'll remember, Hydra was actually involved with Hive, and and if you think about it, the Kree created the Inhumans. So I'm expecting some sort of connection between that and this, because we will see a flashback episode with the people that we've had in Hydra so far, with their younger self, especially Baron von Strucker. We will see him as well, and considering this show made that whole Inhuman cult thing and Hive a huge part of the Hydra mythology, well, I expect that to be brought back and see a deeper connection between the Kree and Hydra, which would be really, really weird. I'm not sure if I like that, but that's what I expect to happen. Now, obviously, the beacon was lit. I expect that Hale has been using these beacons to bring or alert the Kree to Earth. That's probably what brought them here. And she wants to get involved with the Confederacy, which is really, really odd. Now, the person who was actually talking to her wasn't actually Cassius' father. This is actually someone called Kovas. It's Qovas. I don't know how the hell you pronounce that. But it's not really someone in the comics. So this is definitely something to do with the Confederacy. And I really did expect the father of Cassius, or at least the Kree, to come back in a big way at the latter half of this season. Now, part of me is... Now, this is interesting. This is a bit wild here. I think that General Hale is actually playing them. Now, she mentioned that she doesn't like Hydra, but Hydra was mentioned in this episode. So, I think that she is actually trying to save the Earth by by destroying the Confederacy. I think she is going to stop them and from the inside, and this is what she's doing. She mentioned to Coulson that she's trying to save the planet from extinction. This is possibly what she actually wants to do, and she's actually a good guy in disguise. Maybe? But that is it for this video. Please do drop a like down below and subscribe. I will be doing a review of everything that happens in Pacific Rim 2 Uprising. I'm going to see that later. And I will also be doing an Ebony Maw versus Doctor Strange video tomorrow. So that is it. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.